Can you believe a due law 500 fine for fishing with my kid nephew sparked a war that ended with me owning an entire lake? Yeah, that's right. What started as a sunny Saturday bonding session turned into a showdown with a power-hungry HOA president, and now they're shelling out due law $2,000 a month to use Saw My Saw Lake. I'm Jake Turner, and this is the wildest story of how petty rules, a shady scheme, and a little veteran know-how flipped my quiet suburban life upside down in Pine Grove Estates, Michigan. It was April last year, spring finally breaking through the Michigan chill. I'd promised my nephew Ethan a fishing trip. The kid was 10, all wide eyes and endless questions, clutching the shiny new rod I'd gotten him for his birthday. His dad, my brother Matt, was pulling double shifts at the hospital, so I stepped up for some uncle-nephew time. I'd moved to Pine Grove 3 years back after my last ID security gig, post 2 tours in Afghanistan. I wanted peace, a place to plant roots. The realtor had sold me on the modern homes, tidy lawns, and an 8-acre gem Lake Serenity, the heart of the community. Fishing was a big selling point, and I'd cast a line there plenty since moving in. That morning, Ethan was buzzing, asking if we'd snag a monster fish. I ruffled his hair, joking we'd at least catch a laugh or two. We set up on the lake's east shore, the water glinting under the sun, birds chirping like they knew it was a perfect day. I showed Ethan how to bait a hook, cast smooth, and wait patient-like. For an hour, it was magic, him soaking up every tip, me feeling like the coolest uncle. Then came the throat clearing, that obnoxious kind people do to announce they're about to ruin your day. I turned to see Linda Harper, arms crossed, with Greg Walsh, our neighborhood's wannabe cop, looming behind her like a budget bodyguard. Linda was the HOA president, a title she'd grabbed a year into my time here. Neighbors whispered about her power trips, but I ditched HOA meetings after a few too much bickering over mailbox colors. "Excuse me," she said, her voice all fake honey. "Didn't you see the signs? No fishing allowed in Lake Serenity." I blinked, confused. "What signs?" There weren't any, just the usual. "No swimming after dark." Notices. Her eyebrows shot up like I'd insulted her. "The board passed the rule 2 weeks ago. Wildlife preservation concerns." Her tone screamed nonsense, but I kept cool for Ethan's sake, his eyes big with worry. "I never got a notice," I said, calm but firm. "I've fished here since I moved in. It's why I bought the place." Linda's smile tightened. "Notifications went out via email and the bulletin board, per bylaws. The rules changed, Mr. Turner. You're getting a due law 500 fine. Pay within 30 days. My jaw dropped. $500 for fishing? Greg stepped forward, hand on his belt like he was starring in a cop drama. "Pack up and leave, sir," Linda chimed in. "Or face more fines." Ethan whispered. "Are we in trouble, Uncle Jake?" That gutted me. This was his day, not a crash course in dealing with petty tyrants. I swallowed my anger, counted to 10, and nodded. "Let's go, Ethan." As we packed, Linda watched, smug as if she'd won a war. "Pay promptly, Mr. Turner," she called. I didn't reply, just held Ethan's hand as we left. "Sorry, buddy," I said later. "Some adults are dumb about rules." He nodded, serious. "That lady was mean." Kid nailed it. After dropping Ethan off, I drove home, knuckles white on the wheel. Linda's smugness, the fine, the way she'd humiliated me in front of Ethan, it burned. Something felt off. Why ban fishing now, after years? Why so aggressive? That night, sleep wouldn't come. At 2 a.m., I hit my computer, digging through HOA emails and minutes. Nothing on a fishing ban. The website had a vague line about lake usage updates. No details. Curious, I searched county property records and hit gold. Lake Serenity and its 8 acres weren't HOA property. They were still under Pine Grove Development LLC, the builder that went bust in the recession. The lake was unclaimed, a bureaucratic orphan. I dug deeper. The developer's bankruptcy had left assets scattered, and the lake, labeled both recreational and infrastructure, slipped through the cracks. For 15 years, the HOA had acted like they owned it, collecting maintenance fees, setting rules without a shred of legal right. I laughed alone in my office. The irony was delicious. By dawn, I'd compiled records, maps, filings, proof the lake was up for grabs. I needed an expert, so I called Emily Carter, a real estate lawyer and old army buddy from Afghanistan. We'd stayed tight, her sharp mind a lifeline through civilly life. "Jake, what's got you up at dawn?" Emily teased. I sent her the docs and explained. 3 hours later, she called back, excited. "The lake was never transferred to the HOA. Your fine's unenforceable, they can't regulate what they don't own. But here's the kicker, as a veteran, you can claim this land under a state program for unclaimed property. It's meant to help vets like you." I was floored. "You're saying I could saw the lake?" She laughed. "Yup. It's a process, but you've got priority. Linda won't like it, though. Want to push forward?" I thought of Ethan's sad face, Linda's smirk, the due law 500 fine. "Hell yes," I said. "But keep it quiet for now." Emily filed the claim, warning me to document everything. I installed security cameras, a habit from my IT days, and waited. Days later, an HOA email demanded my fine, threatening a lien. They scheduled an emergency meeting at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, perfect to exclude working folks. Emily grinned. "Take the day off. We're going." I scouted the neighborhood, learning Linda had been pushing rules like fining people for recyclable trash cans. My neighbor, Samly, said she'd won her role in a low-turnout election, a classic power grab. Another, George Hill, a retired builder, recalled the lake as the community's sole fishing tournaments, picnics before Linda's control fetish. He dropped a bomb. Linda was eyeing a deal with Coastal Breeze Marina to build a pay-to-use dock, explaining the fishing ban. It wasn't about wildlife, it was about cash. At the meeting, Emily and I faced Linda, her husband Tom, a retired lawyer, Treasurer Phil Grant, and Secretary Rachel Brooks. Linda froze when she saw Emily, my attorney guest. The room buzzed. Legal counsel wasn't typical HOA fare. Linda pushed the fishing ban, calling out, "Violatus," like me. I stood, cutting through her protocol nonsense. "Bylaws require proper notice." "I got none, and there are no signs." "How are we supposed to know?" Neighbors nodded. Linda insisted notices went out, but I held up printed emails, nothing about a ban and photos of the bare bulletin board. The crowd murmured. An elderly woman added, "I didn't hear about it either. My grandkids fish here." Linda floundered, claiming emergency rule powers. Emily pounced. "Cite the bylaw." Silence. Linda pivoted, revealing the marina plan-controlled fishing, boating fees. Rachel looked shocked. Not all board members knew. I pressed. "So you'll charge us for a lake our fees already maintain?" The room erupted. Linda doubled down, but neighbors pushed back. The meeting spiraled, exposing her agenda. Emily and I left, planning to file the claim soon. Linda's marina scheme made timing critical. Weeks later, the county approved my deed. I owned Lake Serenity. Stunned, I got another HOA 3 to lien in 7 days. Time to act. Emily delivered a letter with my deed, nullifying their rules and warning of lawsuits. Linda called an emergency meeting, chaos erupting as board members like Rachel questioned her. Neighbors flooded my phone, supportive once I promised community access with fair rules. Linda called, offering to drop the fine if I withdrew my fraudulent claim. I smiled. "It's legal, Mrs. Harper. Let's talk access." She hung up, vowing a fight. The HOA hired a hotshot lawyer, Victor Klein, for an injunction. In court, Emily's EVY Denke crushed their case. The judge upheld my deed, urging a settlement. Klein slipped, mentioning Linda's dock deal, confirming her stake in Coastal Breeze. Emily filed an ethics complaint. I posted private property signs, catching Linda on camera vandalizing them. The police grew tired of my reports, so I called a town hall at the library. Packed with residents, I exposed Linda's scheme, backed by a reporter, Lisa Gray, who confirmed her due la 75,000 stake. The crowd turned on Linda, who fled in disgrace. I offered the HOA a deal, due la 2,000 monthly for access, cheaper than their old budget, or restricted access and court. Without Linda, ousted for ethics violations, the board, led by Rachel, agreed. I launched Lake Serenity Veterans Haven, a retreat for vets and families, using the land for healing. The community rallied, donating gear and volunteering. Linda and Tom sold their home cheap and fled to Florida, her marina dreams dead. Now, the lake's a haven. Ethan, my junior volunteer, beams as vets kids fish. The HOA's transparent rules fair. On the ownership anniversary, neighbors to a potluck, GIVYing me a plaque. Lake Serenity, where CERVYC meets community. Sipping coffee on my deck, I smile at the mist, knowing justice came in a lake and Linda's levying with her defeat. Ethan and I fish whenever we want. No fines, just fish. And they're biting.